So it's been a little while, and I haven't done a plant update in quite some time, and quite a few things have changed. So I just wanted to go over some stuff. First of all, this one I just got today, this new orchid, and she is beautiful. Different color than both of the others, than all three of the others that I have right now. And still blooming and has new blooms on the way. So I'm very happy about this. There are a lot of tangled up aerial roots because she was in desperate need of being repotted, as you can tell by all of the leaves as well. So she's in a bigger pot now, and she'll probably have to move out of this pot and into something even bigger soon. But I wanted to give a little bit of time just to get used to what I have for now, while I find something bigger for her. And then this one was my rescue, that I bought a couple of months ago on clearance at Walmart because it was very droopy. You can see the leaves were dying completely and just would not stay up at all. And the leaves haven't really ever gained rigidity enough to stay up on their own. They still kind of flop over, and I think that's just going to be how these leaves are for the rest of its life. This one kind of has come up, but I don't think this one was completely flopped over to begin with. But it's doing well. It stopped blooming, and the flower spikes died off, which I have read about. I was very worried at first, but it seems like that's totally normal. Once they stop blooming, that flower spike dies, and then next year, new flower spikes will come out, and it should be totally fine. So we'll see. This one, the top of the flower spike died, so I cut it off right at where it looks like it's still alive to just do a little experiment, see if that changes anything, if new spikes come from that one. But I'm thinking that just this will fall off and a whole new set of spikes will grow along with new leaves, hopefully. The aerial roots look alright. I do need to water this one. I'm going to soak it for a little while. This was the first orchid I ever bought, and it's doing well. Some of the leaves have fallen a little bit. I have not been as consistent with watering as I should be. But this leaf is brand new and still growing out, so I must be doing something right. And same thing, the flower spike died, and it's probably just gonna fall off. And I can already sort of, it looks like there's another one growing out right here. Looks like that's what that might be. I just refreshed the potting mix a little bit. Just got some nice moist and watered potting mix in there after soaking it in just water, soaking the roots, I mean, in just water with a little bit of orchid food in it. Just to, because like I said, I haven't been watering it as much as I should have, so hopefully that'll help refresh it a little bit. And I cut off some of the dead roots. My air plant is still doing well. Not a lot of change there. Air plants don't really do a whole lot, so it's still doing fine, still alive, which is more than I could say about the last air plant that I had. So I'm happy with that. This one we won't talk about because that one's a secret. This, my Chinese evergreen, one offshoot, I guess you would say, of it got root rot, and I wasn't really sure how to fix that, and I didn't really try hard enough to fix it, so it's now down to 2 instead of 3. But this one is growing a brand new leaf, and I just took this one out because this had also started to get root rot. I just removed one of the leaves after removing a few more a while back. So I took the whole thing out and I soaked it in, again, water with a little bit of plant food inside. I cut off the part of the stem that was yellowing, and I cut off all of the dead roots. And I've got it now back in the back in some new potting mix, and hopefully it'll reroot and take back in. I think I was just overwatering a little bit. but I also might need to get a shorter pot because I think down here is still wet while up here is totally dry. So I might need to just go with something a little bit smaller so that they have more time to dry out between waterings. And then I've got my little baby orchid that I just repotted into something slightly bigger because it has drainage holes and the previous pot did not. And this one also, I think, could use a little bit more water, but I just soaked this one as well. And again, it's got nice, fresh, new potting mix that had been soaking in water for a while, so it's got plenty of moisture in there. And the roots are looking totally fine. So it should be fine. And then I've got my I've got my African violet soaking right now. And no new blooms yet, but I think that's normal. I think it's gonna wait until next year. Some of the leaves are falling. I think with everything, I just have been neglecting watering a little bit more than I should have. I got really busy with the start of school. But yeah, I've got this one soaking now, and hopefully that'll bring back some of the rigidity for these leaves, and I can get new blooms next year, or next season, I suppose, because I think I've had these for quite some time now. Yeah, so that's how everything's going. I think that's everything. I had other plants. I had there was like a red one, and then there was a purple one, and I don't know what exactly I was doing wrong with those guys, but they did not make it. They both kind of just withered and died. I was watering them. That was before I kind of fell off with watering. I was still watering them regularly. I don't know if maybe I was over watering them. I didn't do a lot of research into those guys before I bought them. I just kind of bought those on a whim because they looked cool. So it might have also been something to do with the light. It might have been the temperature. I'm not totally sure, but the ones that I do have, the the now 4 orchids and my air plant and my African violet and my Chinese evergreen, we will continue on and see how things fare.